I've met some really great people recently in events. I've met them actually through LinkedIn, and I love them because they share the sort of burning urge that some of us have to make events more fun and engaging. These are not the kind of people who say, well, this is how we've always done it, and the more content, the better. They are the opposite. They're the sort of people who are saying things like, we need to put time and space back into events. We need to be more brain friendly, more inclusive. We need to shake things up. So how are they going to do all that? Well, I'm going to have a lot of them on to talk about this on some LinkedIn Lives. I've done a few already. For me, it always starts with making the audience the top priority when it comes to designing a meeting. And then I love the idea of, wow, let's go mad and shake up the formats. By that, I mean things like, speaker sessions and panel sessions, because they're always the default. A speaker lecturing the crowd, a panel where, the audience is just watching passively, and if they're lucky, they get 5 minutes for Q&A at the end. So I like things like a previous guest of mine who was on last week, Don Donahue, founder of Motion Events in Tennessee, and he's a long-time live events pro. He's got this idea of what he calls lowering the stage. Now, it's obviously more of a metaphor than anything else, but it's getting the audience, the community really involved, and also things like getting them thinking about it long before the event. So in our chat, he was sharing how for a recent internal event, he sent attendees a pre-note, which essentially are short pre-recorded videos of content that they watch before the meeting. They get some prompting questions to get them really thinking about it. And then on the day of the event, his team, Don's team, set up like a living room style sessions with sofas, comfy chairs, pleasant lighting, and then the speaker reiterates points from the videos and then moderates a discussion, a comfortable discussion, because they're all very comfortable, in these kind of conversational pods to solve the problems and discuss the issues that are affecting everybody. Another idea that I love is, and I've been suggesting it to my clients, particularly if we've got like a really busy lineup of speakers or a lot of people, is that we do interviews instead to kind of break up that idea of lots of lectures and adding interactivity. And it works for all kinds of speakers, but it's really great with anyone who might be nervous or anyone who's potentially prone to giving long, boring presentations, because it's a conversation, it's on a stage, but you've got that idea of the lowering of the stage by really including the audience perspective. You can get their questions beforehand or during it. You can be using great event tech. You can get people to come up to the stage to direct questions themselves. You have a moderator like me to stop it being chaotic, keeping it all to time. Depending on the size of the meeting, you can also have more intimate sessions. I've heard them called campfire sessions. The expert sits with the attendees as an equal. And again, it's really handy if the audience is a lot smaller than maybe we're all hoping for, because then the speaker doesn't feel he's lecturing to a nearly empty room. It's something you can set up quite quickly. It could be planned, or literally could do it on the spur of the moment. Or you can also make it a really special session, include food and drinks, make it more celebratory. And actually, if the speaker's up for it and is someone that a lot of people would want FaceTime with, you could do this sort of intimate meeting several times during an event to give more people this special moment. Another idea suggested by another LinkedIn friend, he's going to be on a LinkedIn Live soon with me too, Jan Jaap Indamau's idea is for a kind of have I got news for you? It's like a have I got news for you style panel, like a kind of talk show where contributors might take part in a sort of friendly competition, a battle. And I think it's brilliant because it could really bring a lot of energy to, say, those late afternoon panel discussions when we can all really start to flag in some events. Other ideas, games can liven up panels, and debates, getting attendees to take part themselves in the event as contributors, those kind of lightning round, lightning talks where you set a theme and everyone talks on the subject for a set period of time from their specific perspective. And I really love this because you cannot underestimate this sort of sense of community and collaboration that brings, and how that really improves the experience for an attendee, because it feels so good to be heard yourself, to get your view across. And actually, let's not also forget that often the attendees are the real experts in the room. As I said, I've got a great lineup of LinkedIn guests joining me over the next few weeks and months who will have their own great ideas for really changing things in events. And in the meantime, why not share your own ones, your ideas in the comments.